Greetings, Foghorns. This is Matt Patrick, and welcome back to Toon-Quel month. And I'm going to talk about another anime sequel that came out this year. Excuse me while I pick today's memory. No. That ain't it. Maybe later. Aha! Here it is. In a long list of franchises that spawn itself a sequel, Inside Out is one of those movies that has potential of making a follow-up based on its creativity and imagination. I've already talked about what I thought of the first movie, and I loved everything about it, like the animation, the story, characters, music, themes, and the powerful message that every emotion has a purpose, including joy, anger, fear, disgust, and even sadness. However, if you had the Blu-ray disc of the movie, there were lots of ideas they had in mind on what they can do with the adventure in the mind, including the addition of more emotions. And when you're inside the mind, there are no limits to it whatsoever. Welcome to another episode of The Wonder Reviews. It's time to unlock a new memory for the Pixar library. This is Inside Out 2. In this sequel, Riley has turned 13, thus sounding out the puberty button inside headquarters. This new stage of growing up adds in new emotions such as anxiety, played by Maya Hawke, along with envy, ennui, and embarrassment. But when Riley enters high school for hockey tryouts and tries to make some new friends, anxiety and the other new members decide to ball out the 5 main emotions to start Riley's new life. So Joy, once again played by Amy Poehler, and the rest of her friends had to retrieve Riley's belief system called the sense of self and bring it back to headquarters before Riley goes down the wrong path in her future. Now, Pixar has done a coming-of-age puberty story before not too long ago with their original film, Turning Red, but there's a difference between that and Inside Out 2. Turning Red acts more like a metaphor about a kid entering their teenage years, while Inside Out 2 simply shows Riley growing up during that stage. In the sequel, it shows a lot has changed throughout the past year, like updated personality islands, new imaginations on Imagination Land, and upgraded reactions towards the console at headquarters. However, there are also new additions that expand the realm of the human mind, such as brainstorming, a vault filled with secrets, a chasm literally called the sarcasm, and the precision of belief, which the latter serves as the main plot element in the film. And like the film, there are 2 plots going on, but they glue together to keep the story intact, with Joy and the others trying to recover the sense of self, while Anxiety tries to help Riley to join the new hockey team. This would of course explain a heavy message and pretty risky to explain about what makes a person who they are today, both the good and bad memories. Riley has done so many good things and plans, but she can still cause some screw-ups or make bad ideas. But even with those mistakes that she still remembers, she is still the Riley her parents, her friends, and her own emotions know and love. Some could argue that it's another goal in going back to headquarters, but that's not entirely the case. Where the first adventure started because Joy and Sadness got into an accident, the sequel's journey started because Anxiety dumped the sense of self and trapped the others on purpose for full control. Well, I didn't drop a lot of tears as much as the first film, but I was still emotional all the way through with shocks, laughs, and everything else. Which is a friendly reminder that everybody's going to remember these characters, both old and new. One of the main things on why I wanted to see Inside Out 2 is to reunite with our favorite emotions from the first movie, but meet new members inside Riley's mind. And spoiler alert, they're all amazing. Since their job is to serve a role inside headquarters, they serve a role in the movie as a whole. Joy is still the optimistic leader at headquarters that is still trying to save Riley from messing things up at high school. Even though others say that she's old school and often don't plan things ahead like Anxiety on helping or rescuing Riley, she knows what she thinks or says seems far-fetched, but she doesn't want to give up Riley and her role in being the happy emotion. What she does know is that Riley needs all her emotions, both the old and new. The other emotions like fear, disgust, and anger now join Joy and Sadness in their exploration towards the human mind with some funny jokes and critical thinking that help them pass through obstacles along the way, while Sadness is on lookout patrol to keep an eye on the rogue emotions and what's happening to Riley. And since it is a coming-of-age story of Riley becoming a teenager, the sequel continues to give a lot of depth of what makes Riley, Riley, even after entering the puberty stage. She is stuck in between 2 places of hanging out with some of the popular kids on the hockey team like Val, but struggling to keep in touch with her old friends Grace and Bree because the 2 of them are attending a different school instead of hers. With this dilemma, Riley's trying to make sure that she doesn't act like a kid anymore, nor make any mistakes whatsoever, even if they can still happen, rather big or small. And now we meet the new emotions. Although they ball up Joy and the others and tamper with Riley's mind, they're not villainous emotions, they're not really evil. They're more like antagonists because they want to do what's best for Riley for the best intentions. Sometimes you do understand where they're coming from, and they really do care about Riley as a person. There's ennui, the more lazy member that doesn't care all that much. Envy is the jealous emotion that wants what the other has. And embarrassment, the incredibly shy one that likes to cover himself up, but grows a friendship with sadness to come out of his shell. But then there's anxiety. The leader of the new emotions wants to take the front seat to plan Riley's future, forming Operation New Riley. She wants a part to play in headquarters, but she still cares about Riley and is trying to figure out what she can do to help her with no trouble or stress at all. Her strategy is to really plan things ahead to make sure some of the worst predictions don't happen yet, showing a hidden theme about focusing on the now instead of worrying too much about the future. The best way I can describe Anxiety's plans on helping Riley, it's almost like how Joy could have ended up if she took full charge after the family immediately moved to San Francisco. However, the Joy we know learned that every emotion has a role to play, no matter how big or small. It's not a one-emotion job or anything like that. In fact, she's still continuing to see sadness as a friend and shares the wheel with her. And in case you're wondering, I really like the side characters in this, like the Secret Vault characters, and Nostalgia is an adorable future member. Since it is a movie where everything changes, the animation looks different, but still familiar. Inside Out back then was known to contain a mixture of cartoony animation and down-to-earth animation to contrast the real world and the human mind, and in the sequel, it hasn't lost its touch at all. While we haven't seen much of San Francisco aside from the school Riley now attends with the hockey ring, but still captures the realism of the outside world. Inside her mind, on the other hand, while we do revisit places like headquarters, long-term memory, and Imagination Land, there are some updates and new areas from them that we haven't seen before. Headquarters, for instance, now contains a variety of colored memories representing the 9 emotions, along with some combo memories of 2 emotions. Long-term memory contains the stream of conscience, which they later add in the sarcasm, and Imagination Land is a bit mature but still a creative, colorful land, featuring an underground floor where the brain cells act as the animators that draws worries or other ideas for anxiety. However, there are still new locations of the mind that we discover, like the Memory Vault is a giant bag filled with secrets, and the sense itself has a place where whatever memory floats in the water forms a string of Riley's belief that defines her. As for the character designs and their movements, the human characters are still the same as they were in the first movie, including some of the debuted humans, and they walk and move like regular people. And once in a while, there can be some action-packed moments whenever Riley plays some hockey. Meanwhile, the characters inside the mind look and act like an over-the-top cartoon character in the best way. Whether it be anxiety or fear freaking out about anything, embarrassment trying to cover himself, or when anger wants to unleash his rage on anything. Another moment in the animation that makes itself stand out are the visual effects, like a tornado-shaped brainstorm filled with ideas, or the ending itself, which I won't give anything away, but really ups the scenery and emotional reactions. There are even some clever art styles in some of the Vault characters, like 2D on Bluefy and retro CG on Lance. Oh, and that scrap-up plan Joy thought up during the mission, that one was really cute. It's likely that this follow-up will never fade like the Triple Den gun commercial and its own predecessor. And I'm really happy how Part 2 turned out. Inside Out 2 is another perfect example of how to do an anime sequel correctly with a powerful story about growing up, imaginative animation, and wonderful characters on Team Joy and Team Anxiety. This is an absolute must-watch for everyone. While I still love the original movie more, I can still love the follow-up for its creativity and themes. But let me tell you, this is a movie that can give you a lot of feelings you can ever react to. I give Inside Out 2 an A, so once again, the franchise gets the Diploma of Destiny. I'm Matt Patrick. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to see the latest movie by Dream Productions. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.